Shah Vishnu Bhakti Hare Deve Satyavachai Om Namaha. Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Thank you. No, just leave it. I'm not going to take water. The only time I take it is if I'm coughing. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. What's that? Yeah, they're taking the morning off as a vacation. Anyway, at least we got everybody online, and in other places in the world, they are not celebrating Thanksgiving. It's uniquely American holiday. Jayo Radha Madhova Kunjabi Hagate Madhova Jayo Radha Madhova Kunjabi Hare Gopi Janabalaba Iribada Jagate Gopi Janabalaba Iribada Jagate Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Manachade Yamuna Tera Manachade Jai Radha Madhova Kunjabi Khagute Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda bkagte. Gopi Janabalabha Iri Padadhare Gopi Janabalabha Iri Padadhare Yasudhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasudhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Banachate Yamunatira Banachate Jayo Ranu Madhava Kunda Bhakti Jayo Radhu Madhava Kunda Bhakti Madhava Jabhakti Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatikacharya also Teta Satashi Shibad His Divine Grace Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Say Go Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sai Mukunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Machuranam Ki Jai Jagadata Sami Ki Jai Manamai Ki Jai Shibali Glasi Devi Ki Jai Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premalanda Hari Hari Bol. All glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees, all glories the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharni Nivasesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatarni. So we are reading from the 10th canto, 57th chapter, text 18 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prachakyata Sa Tenapi Shatadanva Mahamanhim Tasmin Yasyashvam Aruya Shata Yojana Gong Yayo Prachakyata satenapi Shatta Danva Mahamanim Tasmin Yasyashvamaruya Shatta Yojana Gam Yayao Prajakyata Satenapi Shatta Danva Mahamanim Tasmin Yasyasramaruya Shatta Yojana Gangyayao Prajakyata Satenapi Shatta Danva Mahamanim Tasmin Yasyasramaruya Shatta Yojana Gangyayao. Okay. All righty. Prajakyata refused. Sa he tena by him. Akrura api also. Shatadanva Shatadanva Mahamanim the precious jewel. Tasmin with him. Yasya leaving. Ashvam a horse. Aruya mountain. Shata 100. Yojanas yojanas. 1 yojana measures about 8 miles. Gam, who could go? Which could go? Yeah. Yayao, he departed. So translation, his appeal thus rejected by Akrura also. Shatadanva placed the precious jewel in Akrura's care and fled on a horse that could travel 100 yojanas, 800 miles. So you can repeat, his appeal thus rejected by Akrura also. Shatadanva placed the precious jewel in Akrura's care and fled on a horse that could travel 100 yojanas, 800 miles. So purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The term yasya, leaving in the care of, implies Shatadanva now believed the jewel was his, Thus he was leaving it in the care of a friend. In blunt terms, this is a thief's mentality. So we're going to read the commentaries by the Acharyas and read the next few verses. And so Jiva Goswami says a similar thing. Shatadanva thought that the gem, Manim, should be possessed by a great person. He therefore deposited it to Akrura, since he thought he was great, which is true. Akrura is great. Vishnu Purana says they mounted a mare. For those of you who don't know what a mare is, it's a female horse. Here it is said he mounted a horse. This is a general description, including mare. In other words, horse can refer to stallion, or gelding, or mare. For those of you who don't know what a gelding is, I'll explain later after class. Sanatana Goswami stated, Shatadanva, inclined to sin or inspired by Akrura Sa, thought that the gem Mahamanim should be possessed by a great person. He therefore deposited it with Akrura, since he thought he was a great person. Akrura accepted it by the order of the Lord, according to Sridhar Swami. There should be a great result if a jewel is kept with devotion by a great devotee. Otherwise, there will be disaster. The Lord thought of the welfare of the people. So here you have, it's interesting. I'm not going to comment too much on this. The Lord thought of the welfare of the people, but it was Shatadanva who gave the jewel to Akrura. So why do you think that happened? The Lord thought, in other words, somehow or other, the Lord planned that this would happen. And the reason is, Ishwara Sarvabhutanam Hridesha Arjuna Tishtati. Also, Matak Smritir Yanam Apodanam Cha. Krishna's giving intelligence, remembrance, forgetfulness. He's seated in everyone's heart. So this was actually Krishna manipulating Shatadanva. Interesting. That's why Sanatana Goswami said the Lord thought of the welfare of the people. Interesting commentary. Sounds like rain. Garuda, hopefully they didn't move my shoes again, so they'll get wet. I left them in a place where they wouldn't get wet. Sometimes the devotees, out of devotion, move things. Garuda Dwajam, the next verse. Garuda Dwajam Avruya Ratam Rama Janardanao Anvayatam Mahavegar Ashvai Rajan Guru Druham. My dear king, Krishna and Balaram mounted Krishna's chariot, which flew the flag of Garuda and was yoked with tremendously swift horses, and pursued their elder's murderer. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, no commentary by the devotees of ISKCON. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states they pursued Shatadanva, killer of their father-in-law, Guru Droha. Jiva Goswami comments, actually Garuda personally flew above the chariot. He appeared like a flag to the people watching. And that's similar, of course, to Hanuman, who appeared like the flag on Arjuna's chariot. And in the Mahabharata, it's described that Hanuman roared so loudly during the battle of Kurukshetra, it killed many of the soldiers. So, Sanatana Goswami says, the chariot moved with the speed of Garuda. Balaram also took pleasure as a friend in the killing of the wicked Ram. Wicked Rama. I don't know why it says Rama. Krishna, friend of Ram. Anyway, Krishna. Krishna was he who gives sorrow to the wicked, or he who acts because of the prayers of his devotees, Janardana. Because he had killed an elder, it was proper that Krishna chase him and kill him. O shining king, Shukadeva saw Parikshit, glowing Rajan with joy on hearing this. Personally, something is skipping here. Personally flew, the flag of Garuda personally flew above the chariot, or Garuda personally flew above the chariot. He appeared like a flag to the people watching, the same thing. So text 20. Matilayam upavane Vishvijapatitam rayam Padvyam adavat santrashta Krishnopyanva Dravarusha. In a garden on the outskirts of Mithila, the horse Shatadhanva was riding collapsed. Terrified, he abandoned the horse and began to flee on foot, with Krishna in angry pursuit. So Jiva Goswami states, Krishna got off his chariot and ran after him, since warriors should act as equals. If he was fleeing, it was not correct to chase him. Krishna was angry because Shatadhanva had killed an elder. That type of anger is permitted. Sanatana Goswami, because the horse fell down, he was terrified. Thus he fled. Krishna ran after also on foot, api. The best of warriors will pursue a person who is on foot by going on foot also. One should not care for persons fleeing quickly in fear. One should not pursue him, but Krishna was angry that he had killed a friend. In other words, the injunction is, if someone's running away, you let them run away because they're a coward, if they're a Kshatriya. Because that means loss of reputation is worse than death for a Kshatriya, as Krishna explains in the Gita. But in this particular case, Krishna didn't let him run away because this Shatadhanva had lost his caste by performing this heinous act. So, next text. Padater bhagavam stasya padatistigma nemina chakrena shira utkritya vashashor vyatchinon manim. As Shatadhanva fled on foot, the Supreme Lord, also going on foot, cut off his head with his sharp-edged disc. The Lord then searched Shatadhanva's upper and lower garments for the Shaimantaka jewel. So, interesting commentary by Jiva Goswami. Though he was full of all knowledge, Bhagavan, he searched for the jewel. In other words, he didn't know. He knew the jewel wasn't on Shatadhanva. To fool Balaram, who is watching at a distance. This is because of his absorption in desiring exciting human pastimes filled with prema for his dear devotees. Not bringing Shatadhanva to Balaram without asking him for news of the jewel, he cut off his head with his chakra. He did this to show his great anger at Shatadhanva. Though Akrura was his devotee, the Lord had a desire to punish him after some time by creating a stigma because he had also schemed due to bad association. He hesitated to do this directly, however, because of the Lord's desire to fulfill the desires of his devotees, and because Akrura was qualified to possess the jewel, he also desired to give the jewel to him. Therefore, Krishna's intention was, taking the jewel secretly, let Akrura flee. This will be considered later. Hearing this news, those other than my brother will feel sorrow. After that, everything will be solved. Though he was, Sanatana Goswami states, though he was full of all knowledge, Bhagavan, he searched for the jewel. He cut off his head, throwing it far away. He wanted to show that he heard from the mouth of Shatadhanva out of the jewel to fool Balaram, or he did this out of anger. I'm just going to read the next verse because they're connected. So, Alabda manir agatya Krishna aha grajanikam ritahata shatadanur manistatra navidyate. Not finding the jewel, Lord Krishna went to his elder brother and said, we have killed Shatadhanva uselessly. The jewel isn't here. Sant Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, though Krishna, being omniscient, knew that Akrura had the jewel, he made a show of searching for it on Shatadhanva's body to Balaram, who was following far behind. By doing this, he was able to separate himself from Balaram, so that Balaram could give mercy to his pure devotee, King Vahulashva in Mithila. And Jiva Goswami says, coming near Balaram, he said, he has been uselessly killed. The spies have given us the wrong information. Sanatana Goswami states, it is improper to fool an elder brother. Speaking to him directly, Balaram is only called elder brother with the expression Agra Jatikam. The jewel is not on Shata Danva. Okay. Actually, I'll also read 23 and then we'll comment. Tataha balonunam samanim shatadanvana kasmim shchit purushe nyastas tam anvesha param brajat. To this, Lord Balaram replied, indeed, Shatadanva must have placed the jewel in the care of someone. You should return to our city and find that person. So Jiva Goswami speaks that Balaram speaks with affectionate anger. He speculated that Akrura must have it since he was qualified for it. Search for him. And Sanatana Goswami says, after that, Tata, after a few moments, because he was fooled by the Lord who favored Akrura, he spoke with great intelligence. He was internally, this is the point, angry with strong affection, Bala, for Krishna. Probably, Nunam, the jewel was left with some person, some devotee of yours. He speaks out of angry affection. So, Om Magada Timananda Shah, Gadanjana Shlakaya, Chakshur Unmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, this is quite interesting. That let's refer to the Brahma Samhita verse, which is one of my favorite verses. Advaita Chuta Anadir Ananta Rupamadhyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Durlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamada Adipurusham Tamaham Chame. So this verse describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his multifarious incarnations. In other words, Advaita, the Lord is non-dual, which means one. Achyuta, he's infallible, but he also has unlimited aspects, unlimited manifestations. Anantarupam. And so in this particular case, Balaram and Krishna, they're the same person. Yet Balaram is being fooled by Krishna in the beginning. Then Balaram figures out that Krishna is trying to fool him. And then Balaram gets angry with Krishna. And Krishna is making this whole arrangement so that Balaram will get angry with him, so that Balaram will stay in Mithila, so that Akrura will actually get blamed for this. Isn't it? I mean, so many interests. And so Akrura will have the Shamantaka jewel. So, in other words, Krishna is putting his own, first of all, his own expansion into Yogamaya. And secondly, he's interacting with his own expansion in a way that his own expansion gets angry with him. So I thought this is very nicely explained in the Gopal Champu, and I'm going to read from Gopal Champu about the same pastime. The two messengers said, here is the reason for Lord Balaram's actions. A reason that brings all auspiciousness, a reason that will dispel all your doubts. Lord Balaram thought in the following way. Although they incited Shatadanva to commit the crime, and although Shatadanva trusted them, Akrura and Kritavarma were never accused of arranging the killing of Satyajit. Far and wide, Akrura was famous for being like religion personified. That is why Kritavarma gave the jewel to him. When the saintly people of Braj were burning in the flames of imminent separation from Krishna and from me, Akrura was unmoved. He was not anointed with, this is because Balaram is realizing that Akrura has the jewel at this point. These are Balaram's internal thoughts. He was not anointed with any feelings of compassion for the people of Braja. This I saw with my own eyes. I did not like it at all. Although Krishna has honored him by giving him extraordinary wealth, Akrura is not very glorious. Later, the wise sages will confirm this opinion. Therefore, it is not good for me to return to Dwarka. So, in other words, Balaram is so upset, he said, I'm not going back there right now. And the reason is, he's angry at Krishna. Listen to this. And listen to how he refers to Krishna. Let Lord Vishnu, on his swiftly moving chariot, let Lord Vishnu, who can tolerate anything, sorry, I left out a portion of the sentence, return to Dwarka on his swiftly moving chariot. Who has the power to overtake Krishna's speeding chariot? It's interesting. He refers to Krishna as Lord Vishnu. In other words, when you're really angry with someone, you refer to them sometimes as in terms of their position, but not in terms of your relationship with them. In other words, let's say if the wife is angry at the husband, she'll say, you are so-and-so's father, something like that. Or you're an engineer, which is his occupation. So God is a generic term for the Supreme Personality, a secondary name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And actually, when we say Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's not a personal name either. Who, unless we're actually taking it to refer to the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So who has the power to overtake Krishna's speeding chariot? I think no one has the power to stand against Krishna's powerful weapons. Therefore, on the pretext of visiting a friend, I can now act to control the love-mixed anger I now feel. So in other words, he's diffusing his anger by just going away and visiting with a friend. Instead of telling Krishna, I'm angry with you, I can't stand this anymore, he actually thinks, well, probably not appropriate to do that. So let me go tell Krishna that I'm going to visit my friend, the king of Mathila. So in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, we see this occurring in many instances where there's a disagreement or a misunderstanding between Krishna and his expansions. This is not a unique situation that we're describing here. And of course, my favorite pastimes in terms of these disagreements are the pastimes between Ram and Lakshman. And of course, when Ram asked Lakshman to put Sita into the fire, then Lakshman was really upset with him, but still he did it. So in other words, even though Lakshman and Ram are the same person, again, we have the same dynamic occurring. Even though Ram and Lakshman are the same person, there's a disagreement and, in fact, anger on the part of Lakshman. And then when Ram tells Lakshman to send Sita away to put her in the forest, the same thing occurs. Very, very interesting. And then between Krishna and Balaram, we see other instances of these disagreements. For example, when Krishna took the side of the Pandavas, of course he wasn't supposed to fight, and he fought. And Balaram was just so upset with this whole war that was going to take place. Another instance of his anger. So he just went on pilgrimage rather than take sides or even observe the battle of Kurukshetra. Another time, of course, is the kidnapping, the story of the kidnapping of Subhadra. Balaram had arranged for the marriage of Duryodhana with Subhadra. And Krishna didn't want that to happen for obvious reasons, because had Duryodhana married Subhadra, then Krishna would have had to take Duryodhana's side in the battle of Kurukshetra. And so Duryodhana had planned this all out because he understood that if he married Subhadra, there would be a natural alliance with the Yadu dynasty. So Krishna, he opposed again his elder brother, and in opposing his elder brother, he got Balaram angry again. There's that story that as soon as Balaram understood that Arjuna was the sannyasi who had kidnapped Subhadra, Balaram called for the whole army to attack Arjuna. And Krishna didn't say anything, and Balaram said to Krishna, "Why aren't you saying anything?" And Krishna, of course, at that point said, "This is actually the Kshatriya style, and it's probably a very good idea." Not probably, it is a very good idea. And so Balaram had to say, "Phew, Krishna did it again," basically. So you have this incident, and then the instance at when Krishna hinted to Bhimsen how to kill Duryodhana. And Balaram was observing this fight between Duryodhana and Bhimsen. And then we have, after Bhimsen killed Duryodhana, or broke his thigh at that point, because Duryodhana didn't die at that particular instance, then we have Balaram wanting to kill Bhimsen. He said, "Look, if you want to fight with clubs, okay, let's go for it." And then Krishna just said, "Stop." And Balaram walked away again, frustrated with Krishna. So interesting, this interaction. So Krishna arranges this, as described by the acharyas, to taste a certain ras. Like Krishna arranges that his consorts, such as Srimati Radharani, will get angry with him. Krishna enjoys this anger ras. And then, actually, there's other instances of this that I noted down. There's another story from the Ramayana where Ram broke Lord Shiva's bow at the Swayamvara of Sita Devi. And when he broke the bow, the cracking of the bow was so loud, and because the bow had actually been given by Parashuram to Janaka Maharaj. So the cracking of the bow was so loud that Parashuram heard this. This is actually such an interesting interaction between the Lord and his expansions, because not only between Ram and Parashuram, but there's Lakshman in there too. So when the bow was broken, Parashuram came and he says, "Who has broken this bow?" And Lakshman, being, at least sometimes he's depicted as a little impetuous in the Valmiki Ramayana. He says, "This bow could have been broken. It's like one of our toy bows." And Parashuram said, "Who is he?" And he gets ready. Sorry if I shocked you. And he gets ready to kill Lakshman. And Lakshman is just ready to fight with Parashuram. So here you have two appearances of the Supreme Personality of God, ready to kill each other, basically. And then Ram steps forward and he says, "I am the one who broke the bow." And actually we understand that the bow was not really broken by Ram. The bow, according to the acharyas, the bow broke itself because the bow didn't want to be utilized in fighting against Ravan, because the bow is the bow of Lord Shiva. Ravan is Lord Shiva's devotee. Uh-oh, turn off your phone off. So anyway, so Ram steps forward And Parashurama is ready basically to kill him. And he says, all right, if you're so powerful, if you're so great, let us see if you can take Lord Vishnu's bow. So he gets ready to give Lord Vishnu's bow to Lord Ram. And then he looks at Lord Ram, and Lord Ram does what? He has the bow in his hand already. And then he draws the bow, and he says, should I shoot this? I don't want to shoot you, Parashuram. And Parashuram says, oh my God, you can destroy all my, the fruits of all my austerities, or the other option, the two things I have right now, I don't have any more weapons, or you can destroy my ability to move at the speed of the mind. So he says, don't destroy the ability to move at the speed of the mind, because I've actually told Kashyapa that I'm not going to remain on this earth planet. I just come from time to time. So I have to be able to move. So Ram fires the arrows and destroys the fruits of the austerities of Parashuram. Such an interesting interaction, isn't it, between the Lord, three lords. Isn't it? Really interesting interaction. And even in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, we find a similar instance in one of the interactions between him and Lord Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu puts it, actually in the Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, described a little bit differently. First, he gives in the Chaitanya Bhagavad describes, he puts a sannyas staff in the hands of, I think it was Jagadananda. And then Jagadananda gives it to Nityananda to hold for a while. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gives it directly to Nityananda. In any case, so Nityananda, he does something that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not happy with, Lord Nityananda. He breaks the staff into three parts, indicating that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Tridandi sannyasi, not an Ekadanda sannyas. Ekadanda means, one danda. Tridanda means three sticks. Actually, it's four sticks, including the jiva soul, which is the curved stick at the top. So, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes back and he's so upset. He said, this is my only possession. And he's so upset that he decides, with the devotees and with Lord Nityananda, that he decides to go to see Lord Jagannath without the devotee, before the devotees. And that also plays into his pastimes of arriving to see Lord Jagannath and becoming unconscious in Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, reviving him and taking him to his house, and later the devotees joining him. So in any way, so these are different instances of the devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having disagreements with his particular expansions. So, anyway, so this is what's happening here. I thought it was, oh my God. It's Hastinapur.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusham Bhajami. Namagom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Putale Jimate Bhaktivedanta Samandiji Namande Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Praja Nirvesesha Sunyavani Vatsatya Jesha Tarande Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hey, Radhe, hey, se Radhe Jai Om Vishnu Paramahamsa Acharya Satashi